Yo, what's going on YouTube? We're back. We're back with another CDL recap. Well, actually, we finally came up with, I finally came up, you guys came up with a name that I had agreed on that I thought was fire. We're going to start calling these recaps every weekend, the Listen In with Ken. I think, realistically, it's probably one of the coolest names. I hope it's like nothing wrong with like the league. I know the league does listen-ins, but like, there's like a listen-in, like you're listening in, obviously. Simply explained, I mean, you understand it, but I think for now we're going to be calling it the listening because I feel like I give a good amount of insight and it kind of just sounds like a listening. But yeah, let's get started. Today's recap is about the weekend matches. Going to go into depth of our matches, our match, and then a few other matches, my little small siders of what I want to say. And then I'm going to bring up two key moments of the weekend I thought were pretty good in fashion, I guess. Like, I guess I'm going to start picking like an MVP of the weekend or like a match of the weekend or, just something in there, just like my favorite moments of the weekend. So today we have two of them and we're going to go over them and go over all the matches. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't, drop a comment if you like the new name of the recap, and nothing really else. Let's get started. First off, we had the first match of the weekend. So the first three I was looking at, just trying to refresh my brain. These were kind of like simple, easy ones. I mean, Toronto FaZe, obviously New York all in form right now. Top four teams as they call them. And they just kind of won these convincingly. So there's really nothing really else to say. So they won the hard point. They won the first hard point. That's, I'm gonna say, surprising. They made it's terminal, so they probably had good side terminal. I don't know if they did. If they didn't, that's even more impressive. But overall, these first three matches were kind of like not really much I can say. How about that? But then we have Miami versus Seattle. I think for a lot of people, this was obviously the first match that everybody's seen that thought that it was Miami's first like actually competitive match that they could have, because I think before they only beat the bottom three teams. I mean, first off, you got to beat whoever's in front of you, and that's obvious at the end of the day. But this was their first test, and they ended up losing to Seattle, who is also a pretty good team. And I think these two teams will be fighting for Sunday spots the whole year. They're both pretty good. I mean, one thing about Seattle though, they've been pulling some damn tricks up their sleeve. They've been pulling out some insane stuff. But yeah, overall, I mean, the series looks pretty close, really close. 250 to 190. I mean, the search wasn't really that close, but every other map was close. I don't think this went 6-5 though. I'm pretty sure Seattle won the 6-4. I mean, Seattle looked pretty good on the schedule. They had a lot of bang out moments, and honestly, I thought Miami was gonna win this series based off Lucky's first round. I'm pretty sure Lucky 1v2'd them like the very first round this map, and to me, that's a super momentum swing in a Game 5 match, and for you to pull that off is pretty clutch. This is my coffee here. Okay, yeah. So once again, Miami's first test. I mean, it's still 3-2 versus a really good team. So for me, I mean, looking at this match, I mean, Miami doesn't really have anything else to. I mean, they have a little bit to work on, but like not a lot. Next match, we had Boston Breach versus the versus LAG. So for me, respectfully, I had LAG in this series just because of based off scrims. I think LAG has been looking like a really good team, and once again, I think they're another team that's fighting with Miami and Surge right now. And I think people underrate them because they're full challengers team except for Fame. I think Diamondcon's been in the league. I mean, all of them have been in the league except Ezreal. And I think a lot of people like underrate them right now. But I think ever since the new patch, for sure, they've been a pretty good team and pretty formidable opponent. And they're definitely not an easy team to beat. So for me, it wasn't a big surprise. Obviously, I'm not saying that Boston's bad or anything. I just think LAG's playing at a decent form right now. So for this match, I didn't really have much to say. I'm here to say basically that LAG's been looking better than everybody thinks. Simple as that. Next match, we had Toronto versus LAT. So this one was a pretty interesting one to me because LAT has been looking really good in scrims. I mean, they've been a pretty good team, and I mean, that's my old team. Don't really have any hate towards them, and I know how Shane and Cap work, and they're not gonna allow you to slack off a scrim. So I expect the LAT to come out swinging. I mean, they're playing a strong team in Toronto. Then Dill's playing his old team, obviously. But it's still pretty dominant hard points, I guess. The control and S&D are really close. I remember Dan Goshi put off an insane 5-5 clutch. Not clutch, but play. I can just show it real quick. I think I found it, but to me, this play is pretty ballsy, and it's honestly super typical out of him to pull this play off in like a round 11 versus a pretty good team. And then like let's just pull this up. Let's full screen it real quick.
Got it now.
Right here, Ultra has the first blood. And they're thinking like it's a free plant at B. Let's just go B, throw a smoke. I'm pretty sure the smoke is Ultra smoke. And at this moment, I'm assuming that Dan Gossi is like, well, for our only chance to win this round is for somebody to make a play since we're in a disadvantage. He makes a play through a smoke, pops a two-piece here. And like I said, once again, super typical play because it's a pretty ballsy one. Because if anybody's sitting on the right side of the tank here, Heckler's in the tank like this. But like Ultra is also thinking like nobody's about to run through the smoke, and that's why Scrap is there to get the trade. But I'm assuming also Scrap's screen wasn't like centered towards this part of the smoke because he's not thinking that anybody's passed it already. But yeah, overall great play by them. They took S&D, and then Toronto kind of just wanted to respawn. Pretty close control. I didn't really watch the control. But yeah, once again, Toronto's definitely in form right now. LAT a little bit to work on, and especially in the hard points because I expect LAT to be a pretty good hard point team just because, like I said, I know Shane and Cap have a good system there. I was there, so for me, I think that hard point for them definitely needs some work just because, once again, I expect them to be a pretty good hard point team. Next match. So here we have a lot to talk about, obviously, because it's our match and nobody expected it to go this way. So I'll first off go off and say, I mean, we trolled the vetoes, and it was partly our team. Nothing to do with our coaching staff because at the end of the day, our coaching staff is going to ask us what we want to play. So here we had the opportunity to pick Invasion first hard point, and force and like basically have Skid Row good side, assuming that they pick Skid Row. But we were overzealous and just picked Skid Row bad side purposely because we were undefeated on it, and we are really good at Skid Row. And Vegas came out swinging. We weren't shooting too well. In particular, I wasn't shooting too well. The team just wasn't shooting too well, and we were kind of just like we just got smacked in the mouth. I mean, at the end of the day, the teams are competitive, and people will say like teams shouldn't do this, but at the end of the day, this map in particular, teams can do this in my opinion because if you spawn the good side Skid Row, you can win the P1 because the break off is way easier, and then you auto rotate the P2, which gives you basically 2 full 60s or even like 30 on the P1, and then so you're just up 90. You know what I mean? So like it's a hard map to bring it back, and we definitely had some moments where we could have. We've already addressed the issues on how we were supposed to bring the map back as a team, and everybody's on the same page. We obviously know that that's for us to be a top 4 team and be competing against other top 4 teams. We cannot have matches like this. So as a team, we all know this, but for me, I think for me it was a good test for us because it was one of our first tests where like we were playing a team that we thought we were really confident versus, and they came smacked us in the mouth, and it was kind of like, what was our regain? How do we rebound from this? And this might sound glazed or egotistical, but for me, this is one of the moments of the weekend that I thought were insane. And yes, it's me, obviously, but to me, I think this map was an insane map, and I think for momentum-wise, it brought life to our team for this match. But I'm gonna simply break it up, show it. Map 3 high rise. I go 30 and 15, 2.0, and I have almost 6k damage. And if we were to play this map even like 10 times, I don't think I would drop this stat line. I could drop 30 and 15 for sure. But 6k damage to me is insane in 3 rounds. I had almost 2k damage per round. To me, that is respectfully, I'm not saying the type's a bad player, but like if you look at the perspective, he has only 2. Well, I guess Ann had 2,500, but like just like in perspective, they have 2k damage alone, and I basically did that in 1 round. But yeah, for me, this is one of the highlight moments of the weekend. I think this map is underrated right now because I mean it was like us dominating a team that nobody expected us to be having an issue with, but. For me, I knew in the moment like I was just unkillable, unguardable, and like I said, one of the highlight moments of the weekend. Just wanted to kind of bring that up and I guess self-gas myself for once. But yeah, once again, we obviously lose the Terminal SD. Got a lot to work on that map, but we weren't really overthinking that one because Terminal SD is a hard one. It's a too simple map. There's not really much to do except hope. Like, different teams play different setups, so like you're hoping that one team doesn't, like, it's a mind game on Terminal. They played it well, obviously, and we lost at 6-3. And then we come and win Terminal Hardpoint, and at that moment we were feeling confident because the momentum just shifted our way the whole match, and we win the invasion 6-1 with a Brandon Bruce 1v2 last round. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think the community sees it as like we're struggling right now, but for any fans of us, we're very, very confident. I mean, this whole series, we never felt like we were out the series, and we were super confident. Yes, we lost the first 2 maps convincingly. We weren't shooting well. It's gonna happen, and there's just no excuse to it. We just can't allow this to happen versus the top 4 team. We need to come out hot, and we know this as a team. So we have a week to prepare for our next 2 matches, and that's basically like the idea going into these next scrims is like, let's not have bad non-productive days of practice, because at the end of the day we could just lose to any team. So let's make it to where we can't lose to any team, and make sure we're competing for the chip and just feel informed going into the tournament, because right now we do feel like we're almost there and we have a week to get there, so it's lock-in time. Overall, I think a good match out of us. Like I said, a good test for us, and I think our rebound was pretty dominant. Next match, last day of matches, Sunday. Atlanta plays Vegas, and they slam Vegas. FaZe is obviously in form right now. They just ran through Vegas, and like I said, respectfully, this is how it's supposed to look when a top 4 team plays, I guess, a bottom 3 team, what do you want to call it. FaZe came out hot. They slammed them. Respect to them. They're in form right now, and you need matches to look like this whenever you are a top team, because, like, once again, if you come out hot swinging, you at least have time to bounce back later in the series. If you do fall off later in the series, if you play a good control team, you're going to get 3-0, and as simple as that. Next match, Minnesota versus Carolina. To me, I thought this series was gonna be way closer than it was, and scoreline wise, it's not close. Tej ended up subbing in for Carolina. Love my boy Tej. He was having controller issues where he couldn't overclock his controller, and I even woke up early. We didn't have to do anything but like warm up teams, and I woke up early trying to help him with it. I was even trying to help, like, going through his bios and stuff like that and help him. But I don't know if he I think he just had a faulty PC, and I think he had to play the series non-overclock. Not saying that they would have won, but subbing in for a team and then not having equipment issues is probably like so mentally exhausting, like annoying. Overall, I mean, this is a big win for Minnesota. I think this actually gives them the chance to get into winners, which is insane because I think they only have 1 win right now. But I also think that speaks to how, I guess, top heavy the league is. But like I said, I thought this series was gonna be way closer than it was. Gwen is still a highlight for this Carolina team. He's been playing pretty well still, and overall, I mean, I think they just need to figure out something, because this is once again like how I said, like, a top 4 team versus top 4 team should be competitive. It should be like close. If you're playing a team that's in the same ranking or like close to you on the leaderboards, you have to make the series close or beat them, obviously, because of seeding for champs or just getting to champs. These are the most important matches of the year, is when you play a team that is at as close to points as you, and especially for like winners brackets for tournaments. And obviously Carolina comes out, gets 3-0. It is what it is. Good match by Minnesota. So for me, this series right here is the highlight series of the weekend. I keep saying that. I keep saying for me. I don't know why I'm saying for me, but I guess it does make sense for me. But personally, I think it was a highlight series because I just want to highlight a single player. I want to highlight Dante. I think Dante's been playing out of his mind, at least definitely this weekend. He was absolutely slamming both their matches. And to slowly bring it up, he has a 1.5 and he has 2k more damage than the next highest, 2.3 at that, and 92 kills. And that's just like a typical series, because once again they're playing LAT, who kind of has a chip on their shoulder, because I think they're better than what their record shows, and I think that hurts. So they're basically going a little harder than not harder than they should, but like, you know what I mean, like they're these are matches they need to win. So they're trying not to make no mistakes. And honestly, I think New York just came out and did what New York does. I mean, they're the reigning champs, and I think Dante's definitely a great piece for them because I mean, look at this. Like, just look at the stat line. So for me, I think Dante was the MVP of the weekend. He's been playing out of his mind, especially because like people been like on his ass about hand issues and stuff like that. But I don't see no issues there. So for me, that's my boy. Got some love for Dante. MVP of the weekend for me. So yeah, that's my other highlight. That was the two highlights I brought up previously. Let me check off these ads. I don't know why I keep letting these ads just sit, but yeah, two moments of the weekend was my control map, and then Dante just as a player in general for the weekend. He was absolutely slamming this whole weekend. So yeah, pretty much. And then last match of the weekend was Boston Breach versus Miami. So once again, another team where it's like they're similar in rankings and on the leaderboards or CDO points, whatever you want to say it. And for me, there's a lot of question marks around Miami because Miami was top of the leaderboards just last weekend, and now they're not. And they're losing all their matches. And for me, I don't think Miami's a bad team, and I don't think Boston's a bad team. This is just a match and it was a close match. Don't get me wrong. So like I said, it's not really you overthink these matches because you're playing a team at the even ranking as you. You're either gonna come out the win, or you're gonna have a lot to go over. You just cannot get slammed. I do want to show one thing because I need to find it. There was one play or one round in the S&D where I think it was some of what is this VOD? This is not the VOD. One second. Sorry. Oh, it's like the whole VOD. I think this is like some of the best teamwork I've seen two players have in a 2v3 like ever. So Vickle and Lucky are in a 2v3. I think Austin sees this guy cross to the bomb, and then he's thinking he's gonna reach out, and then he sees the other guy run away. So at this moment, he thinks, "Let me just get the guy out of the bomb real quick." Good play. I think he hesitated a little too long, maybe, but they get that kill. 2v2. Snoopy's on the flank. He gets the best timing on Vickle because he already hit the stairs at the time. Boom. He makes a Lucky one shot. Lucky stays alive and allows Vickle to kill him. Boom. 1v2, and they have not moved their spots the whole map. This whole round. They have not moved their spots, and then right here, Vickle sees this guy, tags him, chows, Vickle chows. And to me, that's like some insane teamwork. It looks pretty simple and like oh Ken, like that was just the most simplest like thing. Like they didn't even have to do much. Obviously, I think Boston should have hit this together. They should have 3v2 this together. But like the fact that like they both stayed alive, 1 HP both times to help like give the other teammate the chance to get the kill in a small, I guess, corridor, was insane to me. Well played to them on this map. I think they end up ultimately losing it round 11, but overall, I mean, not a bad match out of either team, but it just hurts that I feel like Miami felt like they're on top of the world, and now they kind of just got like humbled. So they just need to go back, kind of, regain, rebound, and figure out what they need to do to beat these teams that they are close to on the leaderboard. We play them next weekend, so hopefully they don't lock it in too much. Next weekend, we obviously have more matches. I'm going to keep doing this. Like I said before, this is called The Listen In with Ken. I hope I gave enough insight. And once again, please keep commenting on what I should add to this or how I should go about these things. Because I definitely want to in the future like have this more set up with visuals and graphics and everything. But right now, we're just kind of going with the flow. And I'm just kind of talking COD because I love to talk COD, especially on an off day like this. So I've been appreciating all the support on my YouTube, by the way, recently. Love you guys, and hope you guys had a great start to the new year. And overall, just super grateful for all the support I've been getting. We're going to keep the content rolling, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Like I said, once again, this is The Listen In with Ken, and I hope you liked it. I was trying to say some crazy corny stuff right there, but we're not going to do it. Thank you guys again for watching, and make sure you subscribe, comment, and like the video. Peace.